Tic-tac. Tic-tac. Tic-tac.
Jules Kounde to West Ham United is very soon to be announced. Medical underway. Full total agreement between all parties is in place. This will trigger the Jules Kounde transfer. £42 million into Chelsea Football Club. Sao Niguez next on the agenda, with the midfield conundrum still to be resolved at Chelsea Football Club. But also in breaking news this afternoon, West Ham United will place a bid in the coming days for Jesse Lingard to take him away from Manchester United. Talks have been ongoing for the past 24 to 48 hours to bring Jesse Lingardinho from Old Trafford back to West Ham. That is two big signings for the East Londoners, two massive signings for David Moyes. But could it be what Man United need to trigger their pursuit of at least one more player this summer? Neves is on the agenda. Niguez is on the agenda. Could Tchouaméni or Camavinga be options? We're going to delve into that with you right now. Smash that like and that share button, people. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. I did mean Kurt Zuma to West Ham, not Jules Kounde. Slip of the tongue, but you all know what I'm saying there. Tic-tac, tic-tac, tick-tock. I don't care. It's a bit of a laugh. It's brilliant. Honestly, this guy, I don't really know who he is.
Tac. Tic-tac.
But he's the best part of the transfer window. It's
Tic-tac.
brilliant.
Tic-tac. Tic-tac.
Love it. Absolutely love it. TikTok, tic-tac, whatever it's meant to. I think he must be saying TikTok, but it's just his accent makes it sound like tack. Like he's a clock. It's not tic-tac, is it? Maybe they say tic-tac in Spain. I don't know. But there we go. Kurt Zuma to West Ham United, imminent, expected to complete now. The journalist still being a little bit sheepish. Nobody wanting to put their absolute... now they're flagged to the mast, as it were. But it's closing in. It's going to happen very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get over the line. As per so many outlets, the first person that I saw share this news was David Ornstein. He put out the update. He put out the information, as it were, and confirmed to everybody that the medical is going forward. But of course, as you can see here, West Ham have reached a total agreement. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in a little bit closer here, actually. What have I pressed? I pressed the button that stopped the... there we go. That's better. That's better. Total agreement has been reached between Chelsea and Kurt Zuma for the permanent transfer. 30 million euros, 5-year contract, medical taking place in Paris and ongoing. As you can see, this is done. This is dusted. It's going to be over the line today. But yeah, it's going to be very intriguing indeed. Very intriguing indeed to see the next couple of hours in the transfer window. It's speeding up with haste, with absolute haste right now. And as we all know, I love the transfer window. I think it's, honestly, it's one of the... It's so exciting. It's so fun to know what's going on, what's going to happen, you know, what deals are going to come off, what deals are going to fall through in these dying moments. Chelsea expected, of course, to go on and complete the Jules Kounde deal. Apologies for the slip at the tongue at the beginning of the show. But they're expected to go on and complete that deal imminently. My belief, that's all this is that the deal for Jules Kounde has been 95% agreed to this whole time. It's purely been about clearing out numbers, clearing out squad positions, regardless of the wealth of owners. They don't like to pay for players that are not going to feature and that are not going to play. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Update here on the Cristiano Ronaldo situation as well. 29 million euros is what Juve are asking for Ronaldo. It says here, this isn't a random figure. It's the amount remaining on the amortization of the transfer fee to acquire him from Real Madrid, as per paying in installments. I love now how all the major journalists are stealing my thunder on this. Literally, I was the first person really on the social media front to be pushing out amortization, installments of payments, and now everybody's acting like it was their thing. Flowers, please, flowers. Man City reportedly, though, are interested in putting in a bid or trying to sign him, but they don't want to pay the money. They want to get him for free. And of course, that £25 million being saved goes a long way to paying Cristiano Ronaldo's salary. So a lot of ongoing talks there as it stands right now. No official bids, but of course there have been bids. Think about it logically for Cristiano Ronaldo. There has to have been a bid. Otherwise, nobody would know what Man City are prepared and not prepared to pay. Or an offer or a suggestion, as it were. Fabrizio Romano here says that Juve have had a meeting with Jorge Mendes. Tense situation. There's still no official bid on the table from City, but we know there's been an offer. We'll take him, we'll take his salary, but we don't want to pay the fee. Mendes is talking directly with the club. Juve have no intention to let him go for free. They want the 28 to 30 million euros, as we've already spoken about. So it just depends who's going to crack first in relation to this deal. It really depends on who's going to crack first and who's going to motor on forward. What's really interesting as well, a big update today, is that West Ham United expect to place a bid in for Jesse Lingard. And this is the really important element of this window for me, is what happens with Jesse Lingard. Because if Lingard goes, it is highly expected that Man United go on to make another signing. Lingard is not going to feature too much this year. Still thought it was weird that he came on instead of Donnie Van Der Beek at the weekend, but there we go. According to the Football Insider, it says here that West Ham are confident of pulling off a late window signing of Jesse Lingard. The 28-year-old has been pursued all summer by the Irons after his brilliant loan spell there. He says a source close to West Ham has told the Football Insider discussions have continued behind the scenes with United and Lingard's camp ahead of Tuesday's transfer cutoff. It goes on to say there is no official agreement in place yet, and the English international is wanted by multiple Premier League sides. But West Ham are in pole position, and the source explained that David Moyes is confident in signing Lingard for a second time following further talks this morning. So Man United have held further talks this morning with the Jesse Lingard camp about making this deal permanent, moving this deal forward, and making him a West Ham United player again. And it's going to be really intriguing to see the knock-on effect. The knock-on effect there when it comes to Man United. Will it be Neves? Will it be Camavinga? Will it be Sao Niguez? What I expect to see happen, and bookmark this and timestamp if you want. This is my interpretation. This is my opinion, not anything I've been directly told. But it's based on what I've been told in previous education. If United sell Lingard with enough time, we will sign another player, in my view. Don't be surprised if suddenly you start to see more official connections from the tier ones to Sao Niguez, to Ruben Neves. This talk of no official talks, no official bids, no official approaches, just talks. That will stop. That will stop. Man United are looking at an additional midfield player. Absolute cast iron for me. But as said by Pete O'Rourke on the Done Deal show all summer, United would have to sell before they buy. Chelsea would have to sell before they went after Jules Kounde. These individuals spot on as ever. Someone here says, when is the announcement? The announcement will be whenever the clubs want it to be. I'm not too concerned about when the announcements are. I'm a bit like, whenever I see that a deal has been agreed between two clubs, I switch off. I legitimately switch off. It suddenly becomes unimportant to me to follow it anymore. I just want to see total agreement done, and then I kind of switch off and move on to other deals. That's just me and my personal preference. Announcements of deals between the clubs officially being tweeted out and put out on Instagram and websites in the next 24 hours. I would assume the way Chelsea are holding back with this, we're not putting our official bid in for Jules Kounde until Zuma's done. That should speak volumes to anybody that's worried. That is the telltale sign that the deal is going to go through. There's a comment here that says, see, Terry, this McTominay injury just proves Ollie's weak management of the team. He should have put Donnie on, but this man's squad management is weak. Well, it's more about the medical team. The medical team give the advice to the management, and the players give their, are they well to play? I didn't know anything else had happened in that space. I assume there's been an update about his injury. But nobody should be upset that McTominay's got an injury problem, should they? Because nobody wants him to play anyway. So I suppose it's a blessing in disguise that Scott McTominay's injured. To some people anyway. I assume he's been ruled out of an injury then. I haven't seen anything on that. I haven't really been looking at that kind of news this morning. But there we go. I still would have preferred to see Donnie come on, by the way. I'm not disregarding that point. Breaking news. Oh, he undergone an operation on a groin injury. That was causing significant pain when playing. Interesting here. Also, note that Donnie Van Der Beek is seen as an attacking option, but with Scott McTominay surgery, Ollie could turn to him as a member of the double pivot. And there we go. It's his chance here. I mean, no word yet of how long he's going to be out for. He's only had a minor surgery, as it were. But you've got to remember, this is what's going to happen with this Scott McTominay situation. People will go, Ollie shouldn't have played him. Ollie would have taken the medical advice. Sometimes the physicians and the doctors and the sports scientists will say, okay, there's a possibility this needs surgery, but we can work with massage, we can work with therapy, see how it plays out. Sometimes that doesn't work. The last thing footballers want to do is have surgeries and operations. They always try this first. So again, Ollie will get attacked for this, like he's a doctor, like he made that medical decision. He didn't. This happens at the majority of clubs. Players play through injuries. They try these things to see how things progress. But this is a massive, massive, massive opportunity now for Donnie Van Der Beek. Huge opportunity for him to go out and do what it is that he's got to go and do. But there we go. United People's TV says if Solskjaer brought on an injured Scott McTominay to play in a double pivot against Southampton instead of a fully fit Donny, there is no chance he will play him in that role. Just sounds like another way to avoid signing a central midfielder that we need. There's also that as well. But I still think Man United will sign another central midfielder. So I disagree with that entirely. Look, but it's a great opportunity for Donnie Van Der Beek. It's a great opportunity for. Look, if we sign Ruben Neves, we still should try Donnie Van Der Beek there. No doubt about it at all. No doubt about it whatsoever. There's a comment that's just come through here. It's been shared by Absolute Chelsea. What's this here? Who is this lad? That Chelsea have found an agreement. I cannot pronounce this individual's name. I'm going to have to run it through Google Translate because that name is a mad one to me. I want to make sure I get it right. Bear with me a second here. How do you say this name? Say it again.
Ile Moriba.
Moriba from Barcelona reportedly has found there's a total agreement in principle with Chelsea Football Club to bring him in. Now, a few people have asked me whether or not I think that means that Chelsea will not go in for Sal Niguez. No. We'll show you the tweet here. We'll put it up. This is the information that's come out. No, this young lad is 17, 18 years of age. I very much doubt it's going to stop the deal for Sal Niguez or another central midfielder from going through. That's just my take on it, though. Remember, we're live from around 4 p.m. Live Champions League build-up, live Champions League draw. It's going to be very nice during that show just to talk football. I'm very excited about it. Can you compare Zuma to any Arsenal defender? He was way better, I thought. Almost wonderful tackles. But according to Maldini, if you had to make a tackle, then you had already made a mistake. Look, I've seen that Maldini quote. I'm sure it was tongue-in-cheek. I'm sure he doesn't actually mean it because he definitely made tackles and he wasn't making pure mistakes. But there we go. Donny won't get picked. We will see Pogba back in midfield next to Fred. Well, I felt that all along anyway. I've always felt that Pogba will drop deeper once Rashford's back and Sancho's fully fit because you've got Greenwood, Sancho and Rashford to fit into this team and they're going to play. They're simply going to play. But the versatility is a very positive note. There's no doubt about it. Anyone who has just tuned in, breaking news today, Zuma, West Ham, Chelsea, total agreements in place. Medicals currently going on the way, highly likely to go through. Chelsea will look to announce their deal with Jules Kounde as soon as they possibly can, as soon as all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Jesse Lingard expected, West Ham expect to complete that deal now this summer. If that happens, look at Man United maybe moving in to a new zone there. And some other breaking news today, as we all know, Scott McTominay has picked up an injury and will be out of action for the foreseeable future. Donnie Van Der Beek trending everywhere right now. Absolutely trending. Also, Dimitar Berbatov, as we can see here, I'll put this up, calling for Donnie Van Der Beek to push for an exit from Manchester United. And a lot of people have been asking for that kind of thing to happen. Donnie, as you can see, it's trending. Not everything about Donnie. So I like it when a word like Donnie trends, and then you look at most of the tweets and they're not even about Donnie. There we go. Super chat coming here. This is from man like Ike. He says, I want to try and get the name pronounced right again. I'm going to make Google say it out loud.
Ile Moriba.
Moriba was the Barca player David and I were talking about last time I was on. Bright young central midfielder likened to Pogba, would be one for the future, but a diamond. Interesting. According to Z, Real Madrid have agreed a deal with Paris Saint-Germain for Mbappe. Well, let's go and take a look at that. Let's go and take a look at that claim that's being put out there. Z, as we know, here we go. What's this come out here? Here we go. Ooh, interesting news here, as you can see. Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain have reached an agreement in principle over the signing. The next and final bid will be accepted once the paperwork has been approved by advisors on both sides. I mean, this is the deal that everybody fully expects to go through and be completed. Make sure you've smashed that like button, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone expected this deal to go through. Everybody expected this to complete and this to happen for a number of reasons, really. I even remember, Fabrizio put out the quotes the other day from individuals at Paris Saint-Germain. I'll try and dig those out and find them for you. Has tweeted a lot in the last few days, so my head's been scrambled a little bit in relation to this, but I'll find those quotes at some stage and put them out throughout this show. But I wouldn't be surprised to see that deal happen now. I wouldn't be surprised to see that deal conclude. The way in which it's been put about. You see here, this is the quote from Fabrizio, from Leonardo, where he says, we as PSG did everything we could for Mbappe. The whole transfer window was around him. We're not happy. But if a player wants to leave, we won't hold him back. He can leave on our terms. Like this is unacceptable. I think what he's trying to say there. And look, of course they're annoyed. They put a lot of time and investment into him and he doesn't want to stay on. But I'm not surprised he doesn't want to stay on. I know that they've just brought in some quality players, as in Messi, Donnarumma. But it's a boring league. It's a boring league that nobody cares about you winning. You literally doesn't matter there. Interesting. This is a major update from Fabrizio Romano on the same. As you can see, the president here has said, Mbappe deal with Madrid. I will speak later. Now is not the right time. I'm working. I'll speak later. That's how you fob your missus off. We need to talk about the building work that he's doing. I'm busy. Talk to you later. Got too much going on. You're burying your head in the sand. That deal is going to happen. Like, legitimately, that deal is going to happen. 120%. I don't know why 20%. It could have been 10%, 50%. That deal is going to happen. It's on its way. It is on its way. It's on its way. I can feel it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Oh, yes, I do. Bit of wet. Love is all around me. It's everywhere I go. I love that song. I haven't heard it in years. PSG Mudded. PSG Mudded. Maybe. But TikTok. I love that guy. I know it sounds like Tic Tac, but it has to be TikTok. Who says tic? Is tic-tac? Anyone understand Spanish custom? Is tic-tac what they say instead of tick-tock when waiting for something? Because some countries say things different, right? So my little girl has been watching what I would call the hokey cokey on television, but she's been watching Australian and American versions. And these motherfuckers say hokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey. Hokey pokey. Pokey, bruv. Pokey. They say pokey. So I'm just saying, is tic-tock in Spanish? I don't know. But there we go. I'm just saying, I'm just having a bit of a laugh. This is a transfer window. This is the Football Terrace. Make sure you've smashed that like and share button. Get your comments in, my wonderful people. Tick-a-tack. I like that. I like that. Don't let Freya watch that crap. Do you know what? In fairness, most of the stuff, I have it on like a control thing. So if there's something that comes up we don't like, I can like work it out. But most of the stuff she watches has been really educational, to be fair. It's taught her things I'd struggle to teach. Do you know what I mean? She knows stuff she shouldn't even know. But it's all good in the hood. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. I want to show you this article, right? I need to show you this article. Let me find the link for this. And this has made me laugh. I mean, how off the pace can you be with this? Look at this from Transfer Market. Sevilla's Kounde to replace him. Where have they been? Where have you been? Where have you been? And no Billy T, it's not pokey, it's cokey. Oh, okey cokey, coke, knees, bends, arm stretch, rah, rah, rah. You put your left foot in, your left foot out, in, out, shake it all about. It's true. Hello, Baldy. Hey, listen, do you know why I'm bald? I rubbed it off on your mum's hair bald. Head bald. I'd messed the joke up. Honestly. Always lying on my back and I rubbed it off on the bald, bruv. I used to have so much hair till I met your mama. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A lot of people here saying, Terry, can you get a hair transplant? Oh, I've never heard that one before. I am going to get a hair transplant. Proud of it. Why not? Give it a go. If it looks bad, shave it off. If it doesn't, I'll keep it. It is what it is. But I'm not deterred. I'm not deterred by cruel comments on the internet. Oh, no. Bald men make great lovers, allegedly. I don't know about that. Because maybe they're more grateful. Maybe they're more grateful to be having a go. Do you know what I mean? To put a bit more effort in. If you look like Brad Pitt, it's like, I can do this anytime. Anyway, transfer update. Let's do it, people. Let's do a roundup for you all. Kurt Zouma is close to completing his move to Chelsea Football Club. Medical underway. Chelsea Football Club also have in place with Sevilla a complete agreement ready to conclude for Jules Kounde, £42 million to bring the young French defender to Stamford Bridge. West Ham United are confident that they can land a deal and bring Jesse Lingard from Manchester United back to East London this season, a fee for somewhere in the region of £25 million. United are then expected to then go after new midfield options. Scott McTominay now ruled out with an injury. Man United fans screaming for this to happen. And on Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester City. City are interested in potentially doing this deal. However, they do not want to pay a fee for him at this moment in time. They do not want to pay a fee for him right now. They want to get him on a free transfer, as in no fee being paid up front. Let's see what happens in relation to that. It's going to be a very, very interesting close to this transfer window. It's going to be very exciting, and we're going to be here with you every step of the way on the terrace. Smash that like and share button. Turn on the bell notifications. Make sure you get that done. We've got an update here regarding Manchester City and their pursuit of Cristiano Ronaldo coming up for you right about now.
Transfer market is incredible, and in this case Ronaldo is an extraordinary situation. I think that Juventus is available to sell Ronaldo, but City have to pay 28 millions. But in particular, it's very important that Juventus can find a replacement. Not there is a lot of time for this operation, but I think that it could be possible.
You see that there? Not a lot of time left for the operation, not a lot of time to get it completed, but it is possible. Juve looking for that replacement for him. And like I've said the other day, listen, Lautaro Martinez still hasn't signed that new deal. Vlahovic still hasn't signed that new deal. There are players available in this transfer window to get this done, to get this dusted over the line. Many more trials and tribulations, I think, are going to present themselves. There's no doubt about that. There has been a concern about Mbappe's ego. He wants to be the main poster boy. Why will he not want to play with Messi? Seems Messi takes the shine. Listen, I think there is a part of that. We had that debate on this show only a number of weeks ago about big egotistical players playing together. It's why I don't think Haaland and Mbappe will be in the same team. They want to shine. They want to be the centerpieces, which is why I've always said you can't keep a squad full of world-class players for too long, especially if a lot of them play in the same position. You can only oversaturate an area of your roster for a small select period of time before it does come back and it bites you on your backside. It really, really does. Seriously, Terry, I still remember that tackle on Martial, but the guy is not good at fast passing, and that's why we are going on for Kounde. We will warm our bench. Listen, bro, I think Jules Kounde is coming almost straight into your team. Give him a month to settle, but I think Jules Kounde is there for the future. I know it's Zuma to West Ham, not Chelsea. It was a slip of the tongue. I keep getting it. My brain. I'm dyslexic. I get my words mixed up. So it also means I think about him in the wrong order in my brain as well. Very sorry about that. Man, is Slen's talking in the comments? Where's Slen's at? There he is. There's Slen's, my guy. What would worry you more, Kane or Ronaldo at City? Kane. And that's going to sound horrible because I love Ronaldo. But Ronaldo's in the twilight of his career. I have this feeling that City are going to have a dip when Pep Guardiola leaves. I really, truly believe that. However, I think that dip will be less pronounced with players like Harry Kane, who have still got 4 or 5 years left, in my opinion, at their absolute best. So I would rather see a Ronaldo come in who's got 1 or 2 years max left at the highest level. I think the next manager that comes in with the dip that then ensues, it's less of a concern. Equally, though, I want either of them going over Haaland. Haaland would be the biggest worry, Slens. Haaland would be the biggest concern for me because of the 10 years that he could stay there. And if a player, generally, if a player signs for City or Liverpool in their peak or before their peak, United ain't never getting them. So it's one of the reasons I was gutted that Pep went there and Klopp went to Liverpool. Not just because we all knew they were going to bring success, but because it rules them out ever being in that position with Manchester United. And that was the sad part for me, the upsetting part, the worrying part. So yeah, listen, it would be, if I could pick an order of strikers to go there, Haaland's at the bottom. Do you know what I mean? Ronaldo's one of the top names there because of the fact it's only a couple of years you've got to endure it. There we go. 42 million isn't a bargain, is a good price for a non-proven Premier League player. Yeah, I understand that train of thought. I mean, it's still 8 million more expensive than Varane. It shows how good, about 5-6 million, sorry, more than Varane, which shows how good that deal was for United. But 42 million pounds for Jules Kounde with a 68 million pound buyout clause is exceptional business. It's exceptional business because they're also getting 25 million for Zuma. Like Chelsea, even if this signing doesn't work out for Chelsea, they'll recoup the majority of this money. At the very least, they'll sell him on for what's ever left as per the amortization and the installments. So it's just a very shrewd, smart piece of business. Artem here says, West Ham United adding some much needed depth. I think Moyes got them playing good enough to make the top 6, but with Europa this year, they'll need more. And like Lingard and Zuma, and there's a few more players they're linked to. They've left it a little bit late in the window. I think Moyes would have preferred them in weeks ago. However, West Ham are building something nice, and they've looked very good at the beginning of this season. Zuma's going to shore up their defense. That's the interesting thing. Zuma's going to shore up the defense of West Ham. And shoring up the defense of West Ham is the real important part, because they're still a little bit, leaky Van Leaky. And what have they brought in this summer? Like Craig Dawson's joined permanently, and have loaned the lad from PSG. That isn't good enough. Felipe Anderson has gone. What a waste he was in the end. They need to make some signings, and I think if they can bring in Lingard, Zuma, maybe 1 or 2 more before the end of the window, they put themselves into a really strong position. Really, really strong position. Terry, is net spend real? Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly. Net spend is not real. It isn't. Clubs spend a percentage of their turnover on players. Salaries, agent fees, transfer fees, loan fees, whatever you want to say. They tend not to go above a percentage of whatever they're spending. So yes, the more you sell, the more you can then reinvest in players, because the turnover of your business is increased. The only net spend measurement is the profitability your club makes. If a club makes huge profits through commercial means, it doesn't have a necessity to sell players. When it isn't a necessity to sell players, you lose an area of bargaining in the transfer market, meaning it's actually harder for you to get the players that you want. Equally, Man United went for a period of being stupid with this. We succumbed to that pressure. I was like, we don't need the extra 10 million for Chicharito, the extra 10 million for Welbeck. Let's just let them go. Stupid business sense. You should always fight for it. But net spend in its arbitrary, basic bitch sense of player in, player out net spend is BS. Yes, this year, Chelsea have recouped through sales almost as much money as they've committed to buying players. So you can say net spend is near zero. It isn't. It doesn't work like that. What's the wage increases been? What's the wage bill looking like? What have they spent on agent fees to get these players in and get these players out? Sometimes to sell players on, clubs have to pick up the agent fee element and the buying clubs don't. So it could be, and I'm not saying Chelsea have done this. This is hypothetical, but Chelsea might have spent an extra 20 million pound on agent fees coming in and had to spend an extra 10, 12 million pound on agent fees coming out. That doesn't get factored in. The overall wage bill, because by the way, a lot of the players have sold have been away on loan. So on real, true accounting, they haven't actually been included in the expenditure of the football club over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. If a player's been out on loan for, say, 2 or 3 years, the club they were out on loan is picking up that expense. So you're not directly lowering your wage bill. It was already lower, right? So what's your overall wage bill increase each year on year? This is what all needs to be factored in, because sometimes you might think, oh, we broke even on transfers. But if your wage bill's up by 25 million a year and you spent 40 million pound on creating that zero net spend, you're actually worse off by 60, 70 million quid. Now, that isn't a problem. It's just the reality of the situation. Just the reality of it. Pep said net spend is real. I don't care what he said. I literally don't care what he said. He's wrong. The clubs don't use it. The financial experts that have been on the show don't. So net spend is only real if you have all finances regarding transfers. Yeah, you could look at it that way. So for me, I would accept it as real if you looked at it like there's a real easy sum. What percentage of the turnover is spent on players? So you look at your salaries, agent fees, and transfer fees, and you work out what percentage that is against your turnover. And then how you work out whether you've had a positive or a negative net spend, whichever way around you look at it, is what's the percentage a year later. So if you've sold loads of players, but you haven't bought anybody, or say you raised 200 million in sales and you saved 30 million in wages, but you spent 100 million on new players and you spent 20 million on wages, you can work out that the percentage of your overall spend might drop by 5-10%. That's something to celebrate because that's real. But the arbitrary net spend bothers me because you might sell a player for 25 million and buy a player for 50. And everyone goes, oh, £25 million net spend. Yeah, but the player you sold was costing you £4 million a year in salary. The player you just purchased is costing you £12 million a year. So over the course of that contract, the net spend isn't £25 million. Plus, you might have had to have paid 10 million in agent fees to get that player in also. Like, there's all these things to factor in. And that's why it bothers me. Like free transfers. Free transfers are not free transfers. You pay the transfer fee to the player who now owns his own player card. So you might not have to pay Man United a fee for Pogba next year, but you're paying Pogba tens of millions of pounds just to sign for you. But yet net spend will say you got him for free. You didn't. You literally didn't. It's a fallacy. It's a fugazi. It doesn't exist. It just doesn't. not in the arbitrary way that it's put out, like a computer game or the Sun newspaper. It just doesn't exist like that. Make sure you smash that like and share button, people. Make sure you smash it and get it done. Oh, I'm laughing. Terry, you may replace Arsenal with West Ham this year. Can you imagine? No, that's not going to happen. Thank you there to TBG for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. It means a great deal to us. Remember, we are back at 4 p.m. today doing the Champions League draw live on the Terrace, and make sure you're here for that. We're going to have a really good panel, really good chat. We're going to take your calls on that as well. If what you say is real, I find it mad that Sky Sports advertise net spend when looking at transfers. Bruv, it's because, I'll be honest with you, I'm not surprised that they do it. We've had Kieran Maguire on it that explain, like, it exists in the sense of you can make it as a sum and say, oh, Man United spent 100 and sold 50 million, therefore £50 million net spend. But it isn't real. It just isn't real. The players that we bought, we might have spent another £50 million on agent fees, signing on fees, intermediary fees, legal costs. And because we don't factor that in, people think, well, we've got a cash reserve of £100 million. The player only costs 30 million. So why we've got 70 million left? Well, we don't have 70 million left because what about all the other occurring costs that go with it? What about all the other financial attachments to it? So a £30 million signing might actually cost a club £50 million to complete, but no one takes into consideration the add-on effects. You know, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Just the legal fees for these things are massive. Terry, is there anything breaking about Liverpool? No. I mean, there's literally nothing going on at Liverpool right now that anybody knows about. Are they working on things behind behind the scenes? Maybe. I don't know. I just don't know, though. Liverpool are a very, very hard club to read in relation to their transfer deals. They let very little out. Most people know nothing about Liverpool, not even their tier ones half the time in relation to that. Oh, wow. Update here on Cristiano Ronaldo that we need to bring you. Let's have a look. Reported here from Spanish outlet AS, who are not regarded as highly reliable, but will bring you the news and you can make your mind up that an agreement between Cristiano Ronaldo and Man City is in place. All that remains is for Juve to accept the inclusion of a City player in the deal. Maybe that's what Man City are going to look to do here. Maybe there's a way of moving Bernardo Silva on or a player such as that to try and help get this deal concluded. I'm starting to get an horrible feeling that Ronaldo might be going City. Oh, geez, Louise. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was to happen? Makes my brain hurt. Makes me sad as well. How close is Sal Niguez to signing for Chelsea? So annoyed with my team for not signing him. In terms of how close, I would say very, very close indeed. I still think they're going to look at Tchouaméni over the next day or so. I still think they're going to weigh up what they can do with their number one options. They still need to negotiate the obligation element because Ati are not budging on that. And Atletico Madrid are not going to budge on that yet. Atletico Madrid are not at this moment in time. And how I know this is because I've done large-scale, multiple million-pound B2B business sales. when somebody else is still vying for your player and Man United are still looking at Saul Niguez, there's no need to yield just yet from Atletico Madrid, but it becomes about timing. So if Chelsea look like Tchouaméni is going to be coming alive again, Ati might yield. If Man United completely walk away, Ati might yield. But Man United may, because Pogba might end up going PSG. Man United might not be able to get Ruben Neves and go, right, we need to go for Saul Niguez. And maybe to pip Chelsea to the post, say, we'll do the obligation to buy. Therefore, Ati won't accept the offer from Chelsea, even though everything's very, very close to happening, and they move on to Man United. But clubs don't like the words like very close and advanced and nearly done, because they don't like the idea of being gazumped at the final hurdle. That's just weak people, though. The football terrace community isn't weak. We can handle that. Chelsea are leading the race. Man United are still in for him. Chelsea are closer, but United could still get the deal done. That is the crux of it. Through all the BS and all the buzzwords that are used, that's the story. That is how it stands right now. Anything in relation to that deal could happen between now and the end of the window. Thank you, Ashwin, for rejoining as a member of the Football Terrace. Absolute legend. Thank you very, very much indeed. It means a great deal to me that you've done that. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Imagine CR9 scoring a hat-trick at Old Trafford. Please don't. Maria Williams here says it's not the juice level, but CR7 going to City defo makes me feel some kind of way. Yeah, look, as a fan, I think that. As a fan, I get that approach. But it's going to be a 2-year deal, and it's going to stop Haaland. It's going to stop Haaland. And I think it also shows Pep's desperation to win the Champions League. Pep has got a deep, yearning desire for this Champions League at City. It's eating him up. It's burning him away. He needs a striker to score the goals. He's already won multiple league titles. He ain't buying a striker to win the Prem. He's buying He's buying the greatest ever. It could be buying the greatest ever Champions League striker. He needs to win that Champions League. He knows that his legacy in this game, with the money spent, with a plethora of talent that he's got, to not win that Champions League in 7 years at City, that will be looked at as a failure. It'll be looked at as a failure. And also, Man City will look at it as a failure, because that will be, by 2023, that's what, 15 years with them as the billionaires building this? From when Man United, when Fergie took over in 1986? Man United were in the mud. That rebuild took 13 years to win a Champions League. Plus, in that time period, English clubs were banned from Europe. There was all types of laws in the early 90s that only allowed us to have a certain amount of European play, like foreign players play. So it was a little bit harder back then for the English teams in their entirety to progress, because we weren't even playing European football. So the signings you could make, the monetary incomes for football clubs were all damaged because of our ban from Europe, and then the rules about foreign players. But it took 13 years from the rebuild. Man City, of course, existed before 2008. But in that 15-year period, they've been building towards winning a Champions League. City will look at it as failure. It took Chelsea from the Roman investment to take them from the mess they were in to winning the Champions League, 8 years? That's amazing. You know, look how long it's taken FSG from the mess Liverpool were in to win a Champions League. City don't want to be going on 15, 20 years with billions invested not having won one. It is a failure. You have to look at it from that point of view. And we'll touch on that a little bit more this evening. This is why I can't read into interviews. Ronaldo said he would never join because of the passion. Things change. Bruv, listen, never read into the interviews where people say they won't join. Never listen to a player. Listen, only a few days ago, he did the whole, shh, I'm not leaving Juve. Fuck off. Do you know what I mean? You are. Or you're looking to leave. But it's all PR. Because if the deal doesn't happen, he'll say, I said I was staying. And look where I am. I'm right here. I ain't responsible for the media. You're looking to leave. Yo, Jester, long time no speak. Why does insert name here, Premier League club, think they are getting Haaland? It's a done deal to Madrid. Also, are you going to pay 50 million euros in just salary? I'm not saying it's a done deal to Man United. I'm saying if he goes to City, I want the most amount of clubs possible out of the race for him. Why would I not? I don't think Man United will land him over Real Madrid. But there's more chance of signing Haaland next year if it's only Madrid and Man United going after him than if there's City and Chelsea and Liverpool and Bayern and everybody else going after him. You only have to beat one person to the punch. And who knows what the situations are going to look like in a year's time. Nobody does, my friend. But thank you for that super chat, buddy. Listen, we're back at 4 o'clock. Champions League draw. Make sure you're here on the Football Terrace. Hit that like and that share button. But until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.